Link engaged.
Visit us at TeamSpeak.com.
Alright guys, we are back. Game number 2, PoltPrime against NEXHack. Not Next, it's Nex without the T. Kind of in the break there, we were just talking about who Hack was and what he's all about. And of course, he just recently all-killed FXO in the GSTL and also finished very well last week in the TL Open. Is that correct, Dario?
Definitely. He ended up second, if I'm correct. And once again, he's in the semifinals, and he looks like he's gonna be taking the second place once again, at least.
At least.
Up 1-0 against PoltPrime, but then again, everything could change now.
Yes, indeed, everything could change. Of course, we do need to take a moment to thank our sponsor, TeamSpeak, for putting on this great event, and also to thank the little one for coming on. How is it, Dario, that you find time to do things like this in light of your rigorous practice schedule as a part of Team Liquid?
Well, actually, right now I'm not practicing too much because I sadly have to take a little bit of a break because my RSI got a little bit too bad after I did the 24/7 marathon, the 24-hour marathon. So I'm still on break. I can't practice so much, and that gives me plenty of opportunity to actually be casting, to be honest.
Well, that's awesome. I know people love your commentary
awesome.
and your
Terrible,
analysis.
but
No, it's terrible. Okay, well, I've always been a TLO fan, though admittedly my heart broke a little bit when you stopped playing Zerg. But I feel absolutely privileged to be here casting with you today. And so, are you going to be casting any other big events here in the future?
I try not to make too many commitments about it because I don't want to think I'm a caster now, so I'll just be hopping on things, sneak into that, just appear there randomly.
Alright,
I'm not trying to commit to a caster career just yet.
I understand, man. You're gonna wait until you win a couple championships first, right?
Yeah. Even then, I'm not sure if I'm born to be a professional. I'll just give my opinion from time to time.
It's always an opinion worth listening to. So as we look at this game, it's starting to unfold here. We've got similar one gas, one racks builds from both players. Is it too soon to say what they're up to?
Too soon to be very specific, but not too soon to make a guess. PoltPrime being a little bit faster because he actually didn't go for a scout, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely for a late scout and getting a second gas once again, just like in first game. So I could be making a guess about Banshees again, and he could prove me wrong once more. Because he might just go for the same push he did last time.
Well, that last push was definitely on the back of the Banshee, so I wouldn't be surprised to see at least one Banshee out. We'll see if he throws down the starport. It looks like he's getting ready to, and there it is. So he's obviously favoring this, dare I call it a 1-1-1 opener. And Hack is basically, these guys are doing the exact same build, Dario.
Yeah, a little bit different because next PoltPrime didn't scout. He's getting a Hellion out just for the purpose of scouting, adding a little bit of later tech lab. But then again, you can't instantly afford cloaked banshees, cloak and the banshee if you just go straight for it. So the delay is actually not going to hurt his build if he intends to go for cloaked banshees.
Right, right. And Hack has gone for this banshee play without any second gas, so he's definitely not going to be adding cloak. Maybe just one banshee to scout and poke around with.
Yeah, sounds very reasonable. I really like getting a single banshee without cloak, because in the case your opponent doesn't scout your starport, he still has to assume you got cloak and be very prepared for it. And yeah, just getting one banshee out will do damage to your economy anyways, but yeah, Polt is going for cloak banshees. And Hack is getting a second gas, so if he actually realizes there's gonna be cloak banshees out, and he gets a Raven quickly enough, he's not even gonna have to spend minerals for turrets, but just can get a Raven and then blended economy. So everything's still looking very good for Hack again.
Yeah, I would agree that it's looking pretty good. It's gonna take his first Banshee a while to get into Polt's base, though. I don't know if well, Well, I think probably Cloak is going to finish around the time that Banshee shows up. So I would be very surprised if a Raven came out before, I guess, the initial harassment starts. But he does have that option for sure. He's going to have plenty of gas. He's got a nice amount of marine production as he's adding a couple more racks. The one problem I see is that he doesn't have any energy for this initial scan. So I think it's reasonable that Polt could do some serious damage with this initial Banshee.
Well, I think he's gonna have one scan just in time when the Banshee comes in, but he's still gonna take some SCVs, and he can run away from one scan quite easily. Yeah, there he goes. He's gonna evade the scan, almost dies, a little bit of miss microbiome. Now his second command center finishes, giving him one more scan, and now a Raven is coming out indeed, and he's gonna take the Banshee. Second Banshee is going to the natural, but the Raven is just gonna take a little bit longer, and doesn't go for the natural actually. Yeah, it does. Gonna take some more SCVs, Hack being very fast, pulling them away in his main, but still being equal on the harvester count and having the second command center. So I think everything is looking really good for him.
Yeah, Hack is playing so well. I almost feel bad that I don't know more about this guy. As you said, he's playing very fast, blazing along at about 260 APM. Of course, StarCraft 2 APM is not quite completely honest. Look at this Hack with 5, 6, 7, so many SCV kills in the back of Polt's base. Polt didn't see it until it was way too late. He lost 6 workers there, and he's going to lose a couple more before that Banshee gets ushered all the way out. So Hack,
hiding by him.
Man, he's playing so well. He's got his second command center up. Polt is basically doing the same one-base push we saw in the first game, and he's losing so many SCVs. He's going to be completely all in. Look at this Banshee with 13 kills.
Yeah, it's just taking more and more. 2 more Marines coming, but he will kite them easily. And another Cloak Banshee came in at the natural of Hack, but it was driven away by a Viking and a Raven, only taking 3 kills. The only thing which worries me a little bit is there are some tanks out, and he's gonna have... Oh no! PoltPrime does not have siege mode. So
oh dear.
I'm not sure what he will actually do with that push. It's still a pretty scary amount of units though.
Oh my god. Banshee finally goes down in the back of Polt's base, but not before killing 14 SCVs. Polt is going to come and try to break this bunker at the front. He does not have siege mode. This is basically his all-in push. Tanks and Marines are going to... Wow, auto turrets going down. Auto turrets are so good. They soak up so much damage, and Polt is being turned around. And his push is going to be shut down decisively. All the tanks, all the Marines are dead. And now Polt has 18 SCVs and just a handful of army.
He is in big trouble.
I don't think there's anything he can do.
I don't think there's much he can do, especially if you consider it is a cross-position Born. He's going in with 2 more Marines and the tank, but they will be taken out, and has not much hope left for PoltPrime.
Man, Polt is even, dare I say, looking a little bit sloppy. He was slow to respond to the Banshee. He's kind of throwing units into the front here, and they're not going to get anything done, losing 2 more tanks. And I feel like, I mean, eventually Hack's just going to push, and Polt's not going to have anything left to defend with.
Well, Polt knows he's in trouble, so he keeps up the pressure, which is probably the right decision, even if it leads to defeat. But he knows if he wouldn't attack at this point, it would just be a slower defeat, so he has to take his chances to at least try to do something.
Oh, and he does in fact GG there as he loses his last Cloak Banshee. And NEXHack, who the heck are you, man? Knocking out PoltPrime 2-0, so both of our semifinal games were a little bit one-sided, but we are going to be moving into a pretty epic best-of-5 with Wangson and NEXHack. So it's going to be a TVP final. Should be pretty epic. Before we get into that, I think we should once again thank our sponsor TeamSpeak, and also we need to plug the TL attack that's going to be happening tomorrow with Naniwa, In Control, and Diggity. So all you guys that are watching, be sure to tune into that. It's always a pleasure to see Naniwa play, and In Control, of course, one of the most exciting and fun-filled characters in the entire scene. And then hats off to Diggity, just one of the most prolific English casters ever to come out of Brood War. So don't forget to tune into that. Dario, what are we going to see in this final, man? Terran versus Protoss, 2 Koreans. These guys are just winning all the tournaments.
Yeah, it looks like it. And, well, if you look at the semifinals, probably a really fast and quick final, because it only took us like, I don't know, 45 minutes to go from the semis to the finals.
Man, those games just blew by.
Yeah, they were just rushing to the final. They couldn't wait to take it. So
they want to get their money.
Yeah, they want to get their money and out of here as fast as possible. Back to practice.
Oh man, so I'm just blown away by this Korean domination. I mean, for the longest time, we were all saying that the gap between the Koreaners and the foreigners is not that big. We're all neck and neck. But what we've seen here in recent weeks is the practice schedule of these Korean pros is really starting to separate them, and they're just winning everything. And I think it's fitting. I think the foreigners are going to have to really step up their practice if they can expect to compete at the highest level. And as we're seeing here, these Koreans are entering these foreign events, and they're eager to come win money and get paid. So I mean, we've got to step up our games if we're gonna stay competitive.
Yeah, have to, and I hope it's gonna be a lesson to the foreigners that just because we have our own tournaments now, there's nothing Korean stopping from actually coming to Europe and America anymore to take it. So let's not be lazy. If you have a 40k tournament coming up, practice the hell out of your game. I mean,
seriously, man,
it's so much money, and everybody is still being much too lazy, way too lazy. I'd really hope that people catch up with.
Yeah, I do completely agree with you. I'm eager to see that. I know that some of these foreign teams are starting to get guys in houses and try to imitate the Korean practice structure a little bit. You're part of a big pro house over there in Europe, aren't you, TLO?
Yeah, I'm living in Stockholm. Right now I'm actually in Holland, taking a little bit of time off to recover, but yeah, there are a bunch of guys gathered in Stockholm right now. Bishu, Heypro, Moro, Joe, and everybody, and they're practicing together. So that is hopefully going to lead to a good effort and a lot of good things. But yeah, it's difficult. People have different approaches in Europe, and
well, that's what I kind of wanted to ask you about. You've been in Korea, you've played the Korean practice schedule, and now you're kind of doing it in Europe a little bit. Are those guys doing what it takes to stay competitive, or are they still not quite keeping up?
Well, it's a little bit of a different situation, I guess, because we don't have a coach or a team owner who basically forces people into playing more. So I guess that is lacking in the house, I guess. People are always, well, I wouldn't say lazy, but not pushing them. It's hard to push yourself to the limits just on your own. It would be easier if you have somebody a little bit out there with a whip and sugar bread.
You need that asshole manager to yell at everybody. And
the asshole manager who is a really big jerk, but also a father character and can be kind to you at the same time.
All right, man. So I know that Wangson versus Hack has. I don't know if those guys have finished up all their games yet or not, but we will be getting into those very shortly. So please bear with us, guys. I guess in the meantime, I can take this as an opportunity to talk about myself. Please, guys, if you enjoy the work that I've done, keep supporting it by checking out all my VODs from 12 Weeks with the Pros on evolutioncomplete.com. You can go watch those, and you'll see the likes of the Little One and Sheth and In Control and Idra and all the best players in the world coming on and talking about why they do the things that they do. So I like to think of it as a good resource to folks in the community. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus here, as a lot of big things are happening in esports, and it's been difficult to schedule anything. But soon we will be back with some exciting new guests. So 12 weeks will continue.
So it's going to be more than 12 weeks, huh?
Well, I mean, the first 12 weeks was 12 weeks, and then the second 12 weeks, we're kind of like sitting here on about week 6, just kind of sort of stagnant. But I've been in talks with some Koreans, and so we're trying to get those guys onto the show.
Oh, really? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, trying to make that happen.
So How are you gonna do that? Have a translator on the show, or
That's
just hope?
that's the plan. I hope that that a translator doesn't slow down the back and forth too much, but I feel like we can make it work.
Sounds like quite a task, but very ambitious. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. So that's kind of where we're headed with it, and as you can, as I'm sure you can attest to, anything back and forth between outside of Korea and Korea just takes time to line up. So hopefully that'll come together. If not, then you guys can say you announced it on the TL Open and it never happened. So
I'm sorry for calling you out.
So all right. So I think we're ready to start moving towards the first game of our final.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pumped for it. Just let me finish a little bit of shy tea. I love
Are we
shy
going
tea.
to jump into a commercial first? I do not know.
I think we might have an intro.
Yes, we are going to jump into a commercial first. So, okay, guys. So TLO has to finish his chai tea. I have to sit here and twiddle my thumbs, and we have to run a commercial. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Game 1 of Wangson versus NEXHack.